Welcome back to Veterans Voices, a monthly talk show focusing on veterans issues. I'm your host, Nathan Johnson, and I'm joined once again by my co-host, Melissa Margain. This is perhaps our most exciting show to date. We are broadcasting in front of a live studio audience from VetCon, right here at the Concord Hilton Hotel. It's Monday, August 17th. It's 11:30 a.m. and we're here till 2 p.m. Come on down and take part in this free resource and networking event for veterans and their families. Our show today will highlight some of the organizations and services available at VetCon, and we'll invite our audience members to ask live questions on air. We'll still be taking your phone calls. We've got a cell phone set up right here, and you can also call, in addition to calling, you can also send us an email or an anonymous chat. Ask a question, leave us a comment. We hope that you're tuned in during this special broadcast live here at VetCon. Our phone number is 925-313-1170, and our email appears right below. The live chat link is located on the top left of our homepage. This is Veterans Voices of Contra Costa, and we want to hear your voices this afternoon. We are here for you.
We'd like to dedicate today's show to Lakota Brightman, a veteran who was murdered last month in Richmond. Brightman served in the United States Army as a medic in Afghanistan from 2007 to 2008. At the time of his death, he was homeless. We want to dedicate tonight's show to him because far too many veterans are homeless for a variety of reasons. Continuing to come together, talking and sharing resources is the best way we can keep our veterans healthy and connected. This is what Veterans Voices and VetCon is all about.
That's right, Melissa. Thank you. And there's something for every veteran here today at VetCon. So be sure to come down and join us. It's very easy to get here. We actually have a shuttle going from the BART station. It's right off the 680 freeway as well. Our September show will discuss the issue of homelessness in the veteran community. Our co-host Kevin Graves will return for that episode and share memories from his recent trip to the Middle East. Kevin is leaving today for Iraq, where he will be participating in a humanitarian mission to assist displaced refugees. Very important. He's looking forward to it. He's prepared for it for several months now. We recently caught up with Kevin and interviewed him about this important endeavor. Hello everyone, I'm Nathan Johnson and I'm joined by my co-host Kevin Graves, and we're here on the set of Veterans Voices, and today I get the opportunity to interview Kevin about two exciting things, VetCon and his trip to Kurdistan, Iraq, coming up later this month.
When I heard that this trip was being planned with Rich Campos, who's a veteran friend of mine from Stockton, I asked him if I could go, and my motivation for that was to be able to stand on the ground symbolically in the land where Joey's shed his blood. It means a lot to me to not only be there to represent Joey, but I've spoken to a lot of other Gold Star families who have asked me to make sure that I'm representing their family because it's meaningful to us. So part of what we're going to be doing over there, Nathan, is we're going to be filming a documentary that is going to bring awareness to the 2 million or so indigenous people that are refugees that have been thrown out of their towns, and that's people like you and me. Part of what we're going to be doing is talking with those refugees, getting their story. We're going to also be taking over funds to purchase very, very basic items to be able to give to these people. We don't believe that we should be taking from them. In other words, taking their story without giving them something back.
Kevin, you told us a little bit about where you're going and what you're going to do there, who you're going with, but tell us a little bit about what this trip means to you. Why did you decide to go be a part of this documentary and a part of this humanitarian effort?
I'm able to serve the same people that Joey went over there to serve in a different way, but still to carry on his mission, because everything I do in my life is to carry on my son's mission.
So for you to go over there and to continue that mission of helping those people, I thank you for that, Kevin.
And I'm excited to go. I get to build swing sets and climbing structures for kids, and we'll all have this on film. When we get back, we hope to be able to have a greater discussion about this on our September show.
Right, absolutely. So we'll have Kevin back in September. Be sure to tune in to our September episode, the third Monday at 7 p.m. And we will feature a new topic for that month, but we'll be sure to dedicate a portion of the show to interviewing Kevin and hearing more about his trip to Iraq, to Kurdistan. So thanks again, Kevin, for the time to interview you. Folks, I hope you enjoy VetCon August 17th at the Concord Hilton. And
if you're watching this, you're not there. You should be there. Get in your cars, go to the Concord Hilton, and make best use of all the benefits and resources that are going to be there.
The event runs 9 to 2 o'clock at the Concord Hilton today, August 17th. Look forward to seeing you here, and we'll see you back at Veterans Voices in September. Thank you.
Thank you.
We wish Kevin great success in his humanitarian mission and look forward to his return in September. If you're just tuning in, we are broadcasting live from VetCon at the Concord Hilton. Our show theme today is the past, the present, and the future of Veterans Voices. We've had so many great television moments this past year, and now we'd like to share with you some of our favorite content from this first season. Enjoy.
5, 4, 3, 2.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Veterans Voices. Veterans Voices is a resource show that allows veterans and families in the community to find out about veterans issues and the resources available for them.
Tonight's episode is about what it means to be a Gold Star family.
I think my biggest thing is it never gets easier. You just get better at handling it as every year goes by.
If you are just tuning in, this is our job special called Reboot 2, Jobs for Vets.
We need veterans and we need employees for the long term.
Before we introduce our next guest, we'd like to leverage the Thriving Veterans Network to focus on the discovery 1 week ago today of vandalism at the All Wars Memorial in Danville's Oak Hill Park.
And Mike, thank you for calling because you're giving us the perspective that we haven't heard yet tonight, which is the father's perspective.
I'd like to know if you can ask your guests there, since they're going to school and using the GI Bill.
We have an email. Her 5-time deployed veteran son is having issues getting services from the Phoenix VA hospital. Welcome to the show, Arthur. Thank you for calling. You're calling from Merced, so we have the VBA on the show here. Arthur, do you have a question?
The Wall That Heals is one of 4 walls that travel the country to educate people about the Vietnam Memorial and the Vietnam War in general.
In my case, it's natural too, ladies and gentlemen, when I think of veterans, to think of our country, because they are inextricably linked in my heart.
Really hit home after a couple of years that I wasn't the same person that went. I was really down and didn't want to do anything, so I picked up a camera and started to try to walk around again to help get me out of the house. And it helped me learn and grow and help me really put things back together.
But I want to know, would you sit down and talk to me? 'Cause I want you to know there is nothing I'm prouder to be than a veteran who fought for you to be free.
Are we ready? Stand by. I'm Nathan Johnson.
Yeah. Do I have a microphone on?
You got tickets to VetCon, to the gun show. Well, welcome back to Veterans Voices. We are broadcasting live from VetCon today. If you're watching from home, come down to VetCon at the Concord Hilton. You just watched an entertaining little script there. Appreciate that, Farrah, very much. And you get a chance to come down and meet the crew here at VetCon from the Veterans Voices show. As you can see, they're comedians. VetCon is a free resource and networking event for veterans, and it'll be going on today until 2 p.m. We're now joined on stage by a very special guest. We have John Reese from the Vietnam Veterans of Diablo Valley. John's actually been a former guest on the show.
Yes.
And we had a special invite for him today. And we're going to have a discussion with John about the interaction of the show in the community. So welcome back, John.
Thank you very much, Melissa and Nathan. It's a fantastic program, and I've enjoyed every episode. It's very valuable information for every veteran and their family members.
Good. Yeah, we were just talking about, a couple seconds ago, we were talking about the beginnings of this show, and that was 14 episodes ago. Zach reminded me of that. I thought it was 13, but in fact, this is our 14th episode. So if we look back at July of 2014, our very first pilot episode, it was kind of a funny one. We had our very first caller told us that we were too quiet and we needed to turn up the volume. So we got immediate feedback from the veterans community to, one, know that they were watching the show and that they really wanted to hear the voice of the veterans in the community. So July of 2013, 14 episodes. John, tell us a little bit about, because we're in the studio during the live show. We're not out in the community getting the opportunity to actually watch it and see where it's being watched, how it's being watched, because you can watch it over the computer, you can watch it on your TV. So fill us in on the past 14 episodes on your perspective, the community's perspective of Veterans Voices.
Thank you, Nathan. I remember when you first started, it was 30 minutes long, your first episode, and it was a good show, but it's continued to get better.
Thanks.
And each episode has really added to my knowledge, and I thought that I knew a lot about the veteran community and the resources available, but the show has opened my eyes to many more. Your first show about the post-traumatic stress was very good, and the caregiver program I didn't know anything about, and that was very valuable as well. And the suicide program was very moving and touched me deeply.
Hard one to talk about, but a very important one to talk about.
Right.
In fact, I remember the title to that one being Suicide. It's worth talking about.
Right.
And yeah, that was a very special episode.
It was, and you know, I've seen all the episodes actually a couple of times. I don't know if everybody can say that, but they should. It's actually an encyclopedia, in my opinion, on the resources that we have available here in Contra, Costa County. If a veteran or a family member watched all the episodes, they would have a good handle on the services and programs that are available and where to connect, where to hook up with the resources.
And that's such a good point you make. You know, there are a lot of veterans, you know, who are watching and who are in our studio audience live who aren't aware of a lot of the resources that are available within the county. So this is definitely, you know, a great avenue to kind of, you know, follow along with the show, become fans of the show, and also to see what's available out there. So in speaking with that, what were some of your favorite memories in the first season?
Well, I normally say that it was the show that I was on, but I happened to have the honor of participating in Reboot 3.
Yep.
And the Reboot series I thought was very good. It covered the students and getting a job, and also our part was veterans out in the community, what we're doing to continue.
Yes.
And that was valuable. Up to the last episode on Gold Star Parents. That was very moving and very special.
Yeah.
And the VA, Your VA, the series of 3 shows, I thought was excellent, and really enjoyed that. And the nice thing is you can go back online and take a look at them anytime.
Yes, you can.
You know, a refresher course, if you will, on the various programs in the community.
All 13 episodes that we've done, and then this episode, our 14th episode, are all available almost immediately online on ContraCostaTV.org. Anywhere from the nation, anywhere in the world,
Right.
you can go online and you can watch these episodes. They're slightly edited just to kind of take a few little dead spaces out.
Sure.
But for the most part, it's the same live raw show, just pre-recorded. And anyone who is inspired to watch a particular show, like you've been inspired by the Reboot 3 and your VA shows, can say, hey, look, I learned something on this show. Yes. You gotta watch this show. And I don't want to jump ahead, but you mentioned our last show, and I gotta say, it was one of the most impactful shows that I've had the opportunity to participate. And I think what was neat for me is I got to get off the stage and let Kevin host the show. He's a Gold Star father, it was much more fitting for him to be the host, to be talking to other family members. I got to go behind the scenes. I got to go walk behind the cameras, look at this professional crew doing their job, watch the show from a different angle, and it was very remarkable. Not only was the content very, very touching to have these Gold Star families talking about their real experiences, but it was really neat just to really watch the show. And so when you're watching the show live or when you're watching it rebroadcasted, John, are you guys watching it out in veterans events or?
Well, different. Each show, depending upon where we're at. Sometimes you have events going on, and I always try to watch it live because I enjoy having the opportunity to send in a question or ask something to clarify an issue that I wasn't familiar with or needed more information on. And you've got the experts there, and it's a great opportunity to do that, whether they're calling in or sending an email or text. I end up texting a few of my questions.
Yes, and we appreciate that. And I have to say that that's so important for our audience to do. And I invite everyone who's watching the show, we'll have a chance to hear from our live audience here in a little bit, but I invite everyone who's watching the show to make the phone call. We've got this Samsung cell phone set up here. We are Semper Gumby today. And we're gonna take your phone call and your question or your comment. And if you want to talk over the chat or the email, we invite you to participate in the show. It's so important. If you weren't able to make it down to VetCon today, this is your opportunity to get right into the show and ask a question that maybe you would have had the opportunity to ask in front of a resource or a vendor. When we get those phone calls and when we get your chats, John, we can sometimes tell it's you, but sometimes we can't. But it means a lot to us on the show. For one, to be honest, it makes the job easier. It makes the time pass a little bit faster. It changes the pace up a little bit. And I remember the very first show, which, by the way, we only did a half-hour show because this was only intended to be a half-hour show. And after we did the half-hour, after we did the first 30 minutes, we realized that's not enough time. And there were so many people calling in that we couldn't talk about anything. We would just have the calls. So when people are calling in, it's really nice for us on the set. But when you ask a question, when you make a comment, do you feel like your voice is being heard? Because that's one of the intents of that opportunity is we're not just on the stage and you're going to listen to us. We're trying to include the veteran.
That's real valuable, and it's something I miss when I watch the rebroadcast. But we do down at the Veterans Building in Danville on Saturday morning. We tune in the lounge there and during our social coffee and have the show on. It's nice to see it again, and it also gets veterans that are not familiar with the program to tune in and start following it. A lot of individuals perhaps don't have the cable hookup and need to watch it on the internet, which I do. And to me, it's extremely valuable to be able to do that and share with other people the episodes that touched you or provided information for you.
I'm actually going to jump back just a little bit for the viewers who are just turning in and for our live studio audience. If you can just tell us a little bit about yourself and how you got involved with the show and what your episode was about.
Absolutely.
Okay. I was fortunate and had the opportunity to join a couple of fellow Vietnam veterans, Jerry and Bill, and we were able to share our activities in the community. Veterans don't just stop serving when they take the uniform off. What I have seen is most veterans continue to serve, and it was a great opportunity to be able to share with others some of the things that our Vietnam vets of Diablo Valley are involved with. And there's lots of good veteran service organizations to network with, whether it be the VFW or American Legion. They're all extremely valuable and give people an opportunity to connect with a fellow veteran, somebody who's walked in the same shoes and been
that's
there.
really important, to find somebody who can understand and who can also relate to some of the same challenges, especially when you're transitioning back in.
You know, some of the things you brought up are very important, John. I really appreciate that you've been on the show, and we're going to have other opportunities to feature other veteran service organizations. There, you know, the one regret and one lesson learned is we haven't done enough in the past 12 months, and we realized that 10 minutes and 15 minutes is not even enough time for an organization to really talk about themselves.
It is short.
We've learned a lot of lessons, and a lot of those lessons have come from feedback from the veterans in the community. So thank you for watching the show, and John, thanks for being here.
Well, thank you very much, Nathan and Melissa. Appreciate it.
Absolutely. So the theme again today is stay connected. There are plenty of resources available to you, especially within Contra Costa County. Again, start watching the show. You can stream live online. We'd like to thank you again, John, for joining us. It was great to reflect on all we've accomplished for veterans in the past year. Let's now turn our attention to the present. We are producing our show live from VetCon today. VetCon is an opportunity for veterans to gather and network with employers, educational institutions, health benefits, and most importantly, each other. Beyond the important resources, VetCon creates an environment where veterans can share their stories from the transition from military life to the career, hobby, or interest that drives their passions today. This morning, we had a chance to catch up with some great organizations who are connected with veterans here at VetCon.
Hi, Nathan Johnson here. We're live at VetCon at the Concord Hilton. It's Monday, August 17th. It's about 10 o'clock in the morning, I'd say. And we're here in the Golden Gate Ballroom at the Concord Hilton. Come on down to VetCon. We'll be here till 2 o'clock. We have over 140 vendors. We have several hundreds of veterans here and family members. We're probably going to have about 500 people total here today, if not more. A lot of great things, blood drives, workshops, film screenings. People are playing music. We have organizations representing resources that can help you with housing, healthcare, employment. A lot of good stuff, so come on down. And one of the best things here today at VetCon is Sentinels of Freedom, one of my favorite nonprofit organizations serving veterans throughout the nation, but located here in San Ramon. And so we have the opportunity to get to interview Sentinels of Freedom, and we have Sam Coe here from Sentinels. So Sam, thank you for being here at VetCon, and we've had Sentinels as a guest on the show in the past, and so our audience is already familiar, but for those that didn't watch the show, tell us a little bit about what Sentinels of Freedom is.
Absolutely. Sentinels of Freedom is a nonprofit scholarship foundation who provides scholarships to wounded veterans who have at least a 50% disability rating. And along with that scholarship, we provide a housing subsidy that assists them for 24 months of their housing. And then we connect them with mentors and networks as they begin their transition process from getting out of the military to then going to school and earning their degree.
One of the best programs that is actually going right into the hospital systems that our military has, helping our severely wounded service members transition home. Very fortunate to have Sentinels here today. Tell us a little bit about what's happening today with Sentinels.
Yeah, so Sentinels of Freedom has actually just reached 2 amazing milestones. We now officially have 208 Sentinels that we've officially helped within our program, and 105 of those are currently active Sentinels that are currently going to school at the moment, and we're matching with mentors and pairing up, watching them succeed and helping them through the process.
Well, thank you, Sam, and tell us a little bit about what's coming up here in September. A very exciting event happening right here in San Ramon, a fundraiser for Sentinels of Freedom.
Yeah, So we actually have the San Ramon Rotary, who are putting on a fundraiser for us called the V3 Hop Fest. And I believe they're going to share a little bit more information on that. But we're really excited to be a part of it and watch the race go on and also participate in the Hop Fest.
Welcome back. If you're just tuning in, this is Veterans Voices Live from VetCon here at the Concord Hilton. This afternoon, we are joined by our largest studio audience to date. Normally, we only have about 4 or 5 chairs in the studio, so we've got about 20, 25 people out in our audience, which is very exciting. We've got several of them lined up, and they're ready for questions and are ready to make some comments. And we've got the phone available for a chat message or an email or for a live call-in. So plenty of opportunities to hear from our live audience. And we'll take a question from our first audience member here. Sir?
Thank you. My name's Lucas from Concord, California.
Well, welcome.
Thank you. My wife's going to kill me for being up here in my T-shirt. I didn't know. I would have dressed up if I were going to be on TV. Actually, you look better on TV than you do in person, actually. Just a joke, just a joke.
I got something to say to that. I've been told I have a face for AM radio.
Anyway, I tried to ask a question before the program started because I hate to sound stupid or something, And I in the 8th grade, I grew up in Georgia. In the 8th grade, my teacher used to say there's never a stupid question. There's questions that don't get asked. And I asked the gentleman next to me, a question because I wanted to know the answer because I didn't want to ask in public, And then I tried to ask you, and you said, well, ask when we come on TV. So
well,
anyway,
we appreciate that you did.
I'm curious to know, what are those 2 flags on each side of you up there?
Okay, very, very, very good question. So we very intentionally placed this set. This set was designed by Bruce, our floor director, and we wanted this set to look like the living room. Now, it's a little different than it normally is. We've got this table, but in the living room of many households is a very important attribute that many families in our community represent, but sometimes we miss it because we don't understand what it is. We don't see it, or we don't even know what it is. So to my right, and sir, to your left, is a blue star banner which reflects a blue star family. And a blue star family is a family who has a son or a daughter serving in the military on active duty today. So for each blue star, that indicates a service member. So there's a blue star mom here today, and she's wearing her pin, and on her pin are 3 blue stars, meaning that she has 3 sons or daughters serving on active duty in the military. So right behind me and to your right is a very important banner, and it is a gold star banner, in which the gold star indicates that it is a family who has lost a son or daughter who has died in the military, either killed in action or died on active duty due to an accident of type. So gold star banners are very rare, but certainly very significant. And our last show, if you weren't able to watch it, you can still go back and watch. Our July show featured Gold Star families, and our June episode featured Blue Star families. In fact, my own mom had a chance to be on the studio, which was really cool. And the reason why we had my mom, not only because she's my mom and she's really neat, but we wanted to model how veterans could interact and communicate with their family members. And sometimes that's very difficult to do. Sometimes Blue Star families talk to me a lot about how difficult it is to reconnect with their son or reconnect with their daughter. And it's very important that that opportunity happens. So we're hoping to at least do that between my mom and I to set the example. So it was great to have the Blue Star families on in June. It was fantastic and very memorable to have the Gold Star families on in July. Thank you for the question.
Thank you for the answer.
Next question.
Hi, I'm Linda from Castro Valley. I was a Marine Corps veteran. I am a Marine Corps veteran. First, I just want to put a little plug in and say how awesome this event is, so anybody watching, come out. I'm like trying to text my friends, like, you need to get over here. So my
Especially
question.
because you're on TV.
Yes. So my question is for Melissa. I'm just wondering if you can tell me more about the female sorority, the female veteran sorority that I heard you mention earlier today.
Sure. Well, thank you so much for the question, Linda. Again, there are many, many resources available here at VetCon, a few of them specifically for women veterans. I am the regional director for Alpha Gamma Xi, which is a military sorority, and we cater to all of those who are currently serving and those who have served in every component status and every branch. Again, I do represent the Western region. We are an international 501c3 organization. We're very big on community service. We have several different initiatives and programs that cater to women veterans, to include mentorship for children. And we have monthly talks for those who have gone through any sort of trauma or sexual assault. So yeah, very, very active. And thank you for the question.
I think it's a great question, and I really appreciate it too, because Alpha Gamma Xi is an organization I had absolutely no familiarity with. I mean, I think it's important that female service members, women service members, and women veterans are connecting with each other.
Absolutely, and we're here no matter where you are. We're all over the United States, and we are also in Belgium and Japan, and continuing to grow. So please visit us at www.alphagammaxi.org.
Thank you for being here. Thank you for the question.
Thank you.
Hope your friends come down.
Me too.
Hi, my name is Alex Johnson, and I have a few friends who just got out of the military service, and I feel like sometimes they're not utilizing the services and opportunities that the Veterans Department could provide to them, just because they're not aware of the services. How might I put them in the right direction to get in contact with Veteran Services to find out what opportunities they might have?
Yeah, a very important question, and a question that could be asked over and over and over and over again, because we have continuing veterans who are leaving the military. It's just a revolving door, and so we never want to think that we've always done enough and that all the veterans have been helped. So first of all, they should be here at VetCon, right? Because yes. and not because this is the premier event for veterans, but the model is perfect, because here you have an opportunity for veterans to connect with four things. You have veterans have the opportunity to connect with education facilities. So it's important that they learn about what schools are friendly to veterans. Those schools are here. It's important that they connect with employers, and particularly those employers who are offering real jobs, jobs that match the skill set, the level of maturity, the level of experience that veterans have. And those employers are here. And also employers that value veterans for the level of discipline that they have, and that they know that they'll show up to work on time. They'll also connect with resources like the VA and with community resources like veterans organizations. And they'll also be able to connect with each other. So if they're here at VetCon, they'll be able to connect with plenty of good things that will make sure that their transition out of the military will be successful. Now, if they're not here, it's important that that veteran visit a county veteran service office. Each county in the state of California has a county veteran service office. And these offices are accredited through various organizations like the American Legion, like VFW, like DAV, like AMVETS. And they have the opportunity to, as an advocate, help that veteran understand their VA benefits, and if they're eligible, help them apply. At different locations like VA clinics and hospitals, VA regional offices, there are also national service officers. They can visit the national service officers for the same type of service as well. Vet centers, there's a vet center right here in Concord. Plenty of opportunities. They can watch our show. They can also meet the resources.
Absolutely.
And hear the information from our show.
They can also contact their county supervisor's office. There's always a field rep in each county supervisor's office who can help navigate veterans.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Good. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Pass on the information.
Yeah, appreciate it. Thanks.
Hi, Nathan, Melissa. My name is Ryan. I work for Napa County. I would just want to piggyback on his question on the employers that come to VetCon. Do you go back and do a review of statistics on possible how many veterans were employed from the folks that came here offering jobs to veterans in the past? And the resources that were available, do you go back and pull it together and see how many veterans were actually helped, or they just came by and got some flyers? And do you foresee the VetCon getting too big in the future with the drawdown of forces in the Middle East to maybe be too big for the Hilton and get bigger?
Good question. Ryan, so Ryan's actually a veteran service rep at Napa County. Thanks for being here, Ryan.
I appreciate it.
So good questions, obviously a lot of questions there, and I'm gonna try to remember all of them.
I know.
And okay, so your main question really was about how do we measure effectiveness of VetCon, right? And that's, VetCon is a growing event, so it's definitely an event in which we should continue to grow into areas in which we better collect information in regards to the outcomes. Right now, we do collect information to find out who's here and why they came, okay? And that helps us then drive the direction in terms of what type of resources we make available for them, what type of special events we make available for them, how we set it up. We measure success by every veteran who comes in here, and really more qualitatively than quantitatively by actually engaging with them while they're here, welcoming them here, making sure that they're actually getting what they came for, asking them, hey, how's it going for you? So we're doing it qualitatively, we're not doing it quantitatively. I think that veterans, in terms of employment, is very important. We want veterans to find jobs. We try to bring employers into VetCon who are offering real jobs. We vet these organizations. We make sure that they have a position available and that they're offering pay for it. Okay, so we don't let just every employer in. So we hope that by building a strong pool of employers and a strong pool of veterans, that the connection can happen. And will VetCon grow? Absolutely. We love being here at the Concord Hilton. This is a great place for us to be home.
I look forward to it in the future.
Thanks, Ryan.
Thank you so much.
Ryan's an Army infantryman, Iraq War veteran, so that's important to mention.
For your service.
Double dog.
Good to see you. All right, Sergeant Rick, current active duty Marine and serving as a recruiter in Concord.
Okay.
This is more of a statement. First thing is I'm glad to hear this is a growing event, so I'm not completely out of the loop. First time really hearing about VetCon, and obviously the first time being able to actually attend. Coming inside here, being grabbed, one of the first ones that grabbed me was the Sheriff's Department, the FBI, and then Border Patrol, Tesla, just to name a few. Is there more things that we can do on our ends as current active duty military to do to prepare for times when we do get out? I can't be in the Marines forever. However, I plan on at least 11 more years, having served 9 already. What can we do right now to better prepare? What kind of resources can we find to prepare ourselves to transition and not be as reactive? We can be more proactive.
Well, thank you again for your question and your service. Again, with the theme of the show, just making sure that you stay connected, knowing where to find the resources. Again, here at VetCon and your veteran service offices, and in the Board of Supervisors offices too. Again, just to kind of bridge that gap when you start the transition, just to kind of get a head start. You can contact your local VFWs, your American Legions, and again, just make sure that you stay relevant in what's going on in the community, volunteer. There's tons of services and again, resources that are available no matter where you are, especially if you're in Contra, Costa County. We have a very active set of veterans, if you will, or veteran population. So we're always here to help. If you need anything, you can definitely contact Nathan. Just kind of put him out there.
I want to agree with that. I think that the community that you move to is very important. And you want to make sure that you're moving to a very supportive community that has a lot of life in its veteran functions, that it has active veterans organizations doing real things in the community. If I'm going to reflect a little bit on my own experience, having been out for 12 years now, I would say to not wait until you actually get that DD-214 to do what you're planning to do. If your plan is to go to school, start school while you're still on active duty, even if it means taking one class. It's going to give you a taste of what college is really like. If it's going to work, take on a part-time job. I mean, not that the military is not work, but something other than the military is going to re-socialize you to what the civilian world is really like, because it is very, very different. So you'll be successful at whatever you do because you're successful in your military service. There may be some bumps in the road, there may be some obstacles, you'll overcome them, push through it like you've pushed through everything else in your service, and do what you're gonna do, but start doing it now. Don't wait. It's going to sneak up really quickly, and then time will go by really fast, and some opportunities will be missed if you do. But Sergeant Rick, thank you for being here. I think I'm very impressed with the presence of our active duty military here. And I want to express that VetCon is not only intended to be for the veteran, but for also the service member. We've got a banner hanging up that says that. So thank you for being here. Silver Star recipient, by the way, Iraq,
Afghanistan.
and Afghanistan veteran.
Served both, but it came from Afghanistan.
I'm sorry?
Both, but it came from Afghanistan.
Okay, Afghanistan war veteran, Silver Star recipient, and served in Iraq as well. So thank you.
Okay. Well, thank you again to our live studio audience for those wonderful questions and comments. And for those of you just tuning in, we are broadcasting live today from VetCon. Next month, we will return to the CCTV studio to discuss homelessness in the veteran community. Earlier today, we had a chance to catch up with some organizations attending VetCon who assist homeless veterans. Here's a sneak peek at what's coming in our September episode. Good morning. I'm here with Randall Flagg with Swords to Plowshares at VetCon 2015 at the Concord Hilton. Good morning, and how are you?
Good morning.
Good. So tell us a little bit about Swords to Plowshares and if there's some upcoming events going on right now in your organization.
Absolutely. Like again I said, my name is Randall Flagg. I'm the outreach coordinator for Swords to Plowshares. It's a veterans organization that's been around for at least 40 years. Okay. We serve veterans as far as the East Bay, San Francisco, 5 different counties. We have housing programs, employment and training programs. We have women's veterans programs. We have transitional housing programs, permanent housing sites here in the East Bay and in San Francisco.
Okay, so are there any upcoming events going on in your organization right now that you'd like to let our veteran population know about?
Absolutely. We have a Women's Vet Network Conference coming up for professional women veterans. It's September 19th in our Oakland office, 2719 Telegraph. Please show up. Booths are at $75 a table. And we want to welcome you all out and come and help out, collaborate with our women veterans.
Okay. Well, thank you so much, Randall. And again, I'm here at VetCon 2015. This is a great opportunity to come out and see the resources, connect with other veterans and employers. If you are not here, I invite you to come on down. This is a free event, and we will see you soon.
All right, we're now with Helmets to Hard Hats. We have Chris Connor, a Marine veteran. Thank you, Chris, for being here today. And Chris is here representing Helmets to Hard Hats, which is an employment opportunity for veterans here at VetCon. Chris, tell us a little bit about Helmets to Hard Hats.
Helmets to Hard Hats is all about operating engineers Local 3. We have apprenticeship programs for those that don't know how to run tractors, and for those that do know how to run tractors, longshoremen, all the guys coming back that ran all the tractors, we have a $5 investment fee. Instead of a $1,000 initiation, it's a $5 initiation because we figure you paid already enough. So $5 gets you in, and we can get you to work right away.
So when you say go to work right away, tell us a little bit about if a veteran's interested and they like working with their hands, maybe they've even got a skill from the military, what is the time that it would take for them to transition out of the military and go right to work? And if they're going to work, what kind of work are they going to be doing specifically? Are they going to be building things, repairing things, destroying things? What?
We've destroyed a lot of things. No, we have, if they're heavy equipment operators, the longshoremen running the blades and running the scrapers and all that kind of stuff, they can literally come down, sign up, and we can put them to work the next day.
Right here in the Bay Area. Jobs are here available for veterans here in the Bay Area.
Dozens and dozens of jobs sitting open right now because we can't fill them. So as soon as we can fill, as soon as they come down, they sign up, they do their membership, we dispatch them out and get them done. We can get them done right away.
So tell us one of the best advantages to being employed by one of the unions, one of the local unions versus someone going into their own maybe contracting business, working for a private company that's non-union represented. What's one of the best reasons to do so?
Where should I start? You have full benefits, medical, dental, vision, hearing. You have retirement, annuities. There are protections so that somebody can't just walk up and fire you because they feel like firing you that day because you had a bad day. You're protected by an organization that has 44,000 members, and we are strong, and we don't take any crap. And if you're in the military, you understand
discipline. You understand.
Chain of command. It's a and we are business agents out here in Contra, Costa County. And if you have a problem, you call us, we show up, and we're protecting you.
So this is an employer who understands that veterans come serious and ready to work. They know that veterans have already served their country honorably and that they'll continue to serve their communities, and that they'll work hard. They'll show up to work on time, they'll get the job done, and they'll go home feeling satisfied. So I want to thank you again, Chris Contra, Marine Corps veteran representing Helmets to Hard Hats. Welcome back. Today we've shared some of our favorite moments from our first year on the air, and we took many questions from our live audience here. And now we're going to go into our third phase of the show. So let's turn our attention to the future of Veterans Voices, and may there be a long future to Veterans Voices. We are joined by some special guests who will help us in that discussion. We're going to talk about what's happening in the community and how Veterans Voices will interface. So a very special welcome to JR, Jeff, and Zach. Welcome to the show.
Welcome.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
So introduce yourselves. Let us know. So we'll start with you, Zach, we'll start with you, Zach. Zach, former guest on the show, actually on our very second episode, but you're here today representing who?
Friends of Veterans Voices.
Okay.
Okay, and so can you give us a little bit of background information on what Friends of Veteran Voices is?
Friends of Veterans Voices is an organization that coordinates donations from viewers, from people that want to promote the show, to want to see it move forward, as well as people, or an organization that networks with the community, the people that view us, and make us relevant.
And so what can some of the viewers do in order to help support Veterans Voices?
Check out our Facebook, watch us online through our website, call into the show, 313-1490. Make a donation that way as well.
Okay, that's great.
Jeff, introduce yourself. Let us tell us a little bit about, just real briefly. We'll get into more detail about FACE, but tell us about your organization.
Okay, well, for the past 4 years or so, I've been a commissioner of the Contra Costa County Arts and Culture Commission, known colloquially as AC5. And we've got a really neat program that's, we just got a grant from the California Arts Council to develop this program to teach veterans how to do their own self-portraits as a means of giving them greater insight into themselves and greater self-understanding, and in some cases, hopefully helping them integrate better into the community.
Thanks. JR.
Thank you. My name is J.R. Wilson. I'm the founder and president of Delta Veterans Group, and what we kind of focus on is that veteran that is transitioning. As we went in very young into the military, 19 years old, we didn't have a lot of life experiences, so what we try to concentrate is on 4 pillars. That's housing, education, health, and employment. We look at those 4 pillars as a foundation for that veteran that served our country. Now that veteran wants to serve our community, and a lot of them need help in those 4 pillars. So what we look to do is to bring a foundation for that veteran so then they can serve their community.
Good, so okay, we're gonna have a discussion. This is gonna be about the future of Veterans Voices. And the future of Veterans Voices is gonna exist around the voices in the community and what's happening in the community. The show doesn't make up its own content, so it's important for us to stay connected to what's happening in our community and the significance of it to our veterans and their family members. So let's go back to you, Roger, and excuse me, not Roger, Jeff. It was supposed to be Roger N, but Jeff, let's go back to you and tell us a little bit more about FACE. The name is very catchy, given that it's a self-portrait opportunity, but what are you really hoping to offer the veterans community?
Well, again, we're hoping to offer the veterans the opportunity to learn how to do your own self-portrait, and you don't have to have any artistic ability whatsoever. If you can draw a stick figure, you can be part of this program. It's free, totally free to all veterans living or working in Contra Costa County. And again, the hope is that this will give the veteran who is doing the self-portrait, through the mechanism of doing that, greater insight into themselves, into their experiences, into reintegrating into civilian life out of the military. There are going to be 4 sessions for 4 dates where we'll have 2 session workshops, 2 in October and 2 in November. They'll be from 6 to 9 p.m. in a studio, an art studio in downtown Martinez. And veterans can sign up for this online at ac5.org and just go to the tab that says About Face. So that's ac5.org.
Can they sign up now? Is it available now?
It is available
and
right now.
how many spots are available?
Well, there are 15 people in each of those. Am I still live?
We lost sound, but we're back.
There we're back. There'll be 15 people in each of those 2 session workshops, so that we'll have a total of 60 since there are 4 workshops over that 2-month period.
Okay, and do you provide group workshops for those who want to come in with maybe a group of friends and kind of do a team building thing?
Yes, well, spouses I'm not so sure about. I think they have to be veterans, but certainly groups of veterans can come in. You'll be interacting with your friends, with people you served with other veterans of other periods. We'll provide all of the instruction and all of the materials that are needed, and it's free. We'll even provide free pizza. So it's a really cool program and a really neat deal.
Okay, so tell us, are there any partnerships in the work with CCTV or Veterans Voices? Or?
We're looking to Veterans Voices as a very important component to this program. First, to get the word out so that we can solicit people who want to come and be part of the program, and today and VetCon is certainly a part of that. CCTV is also going to be doing a documentary of the whole process and putting that together, and that will air both on Contra Costa TV as well as we're intending to send it to other organizations and other TV stations around the country, hopefully even to Washington.
Well, thanks, Jeff, for telling us about it. I want to move on to, because we have only about 5 minutes left of time, so I want to move on back to the stand down on the Delta, JR, at the Delta Veterans Group. Give us a 2 to 3 minute synopsis of what the stand down hopes to accomplish, when it is, where it is.
Absolutely. It's September 11th through the 14th. It's at the Contra Costa County Fairgrounds.
Under a month away then.
It's a very short amount of time. We have so far, we have over 600 volunteers signed up for that. It is a 4-day event. We have about 180 veterans signed up for that. We're looking to get 250 veterans, and that's homeless veterans and at-risk veterans.
Okay.
We live in the Bay Area, so even though that veteran may work, they may be working poor, they need those services. So we're going to want to invite them into the Contra Costa County Fairgrounds for 4 days and provide them services with education, health, employment, and housing, as well as Veterans Treatment Court, which in Contra Costa County, they're going to be able to come in there and sit down on Friday, September 11th, meet with attorneys and lawyers and get a good idea of what their case may be. And then Saturday, we're going to bring in the judges, and that's from Contra Costa County as well as Alameda County, to provide those services for those veterans. It's been about 2 years in the planning for that. I grew up out here. I'm also a 100% disabled veteran. I was homeless during high school, so I really see the need for that. It is a health issue. As you know, veterans serve their country honorably, and we as a grateful nation and society want to be able to serve them. So we are bringing Contra Costa County's first ever homeless veteran stand down. As you know, we have one in Alameda and one in Solano County, and both of those organizations are working right alongside with us, as that's East Bay Stand Down and North Bay Stand Down. You just had John up here earlier. He's a big part of the East Bay Stand Down. So we really want to reach out to them. We're also making a strong effort for our women veterans. The men's club is over with. A lot of times women serve right along with us. For too long, it's been a men's club. We want to welcome our sisters, our daughters, our mothers into our, if you want to call it a club, but they are veterans, so we're making a special effort for them. We're going to be taking them fishing. You can't have stand down on the Delta without a fishing trip, so we're going to take about 15 of them fishing as well. We look forward to that being a great event. It's going to be every other year to complement the East Bay Stand Down, which does theirs in the even years.
One of the greatest things about stand down is that a veteran who is homeless comes in, and oftentimes they're very tired, they're very dirty, they've kind of lost hope, and the volunteers are very clean, energetic, they're ready to go to work. 4 days later, you watch the veteran walk out of stand down, clean, healthy,
Absolutely,
full of
it
life.
gives them that camaraderie.
And the volunteers exhausted, so
Right,
yeah.
A lot of times you got the veteran coming out clean and the volunteer
Yeah.
coming out dirty.
Yeah, very important. So I want to thank.
If they'd like to learn how to do a self-portrait, they can come join our program as well.
Absolutely. Lots of
Amazing
opportunities.
resources.
I want to ask for everyone to give full support to Friends of Veterans Voices. It's a way modeled after the library program in which the community can support this show. In the next year, Veterans Voices will continue to bring you important resource information, veterans events, and newsworthy topics. Our show is funded by a CalVet grant with support from the Diablo Valley Veterans Foundation. Very important. Thank you to those agencies for supporting us.
We love any support from our viewers, even if it's as simple as liking our Facebook page or telling a friend to tune in. Any action you will take will make a difference in the future of this show. Next month, we will be back in the CCTV studio with even more informative veteran content. We broadcast live the third Monday of every month at 7 p.m. We replay our shows every Monday night at 7, Wednesday nights at 11 p.m., and Saturdays at 9 a.m. You can watch all past episodes anytime on our website, contracostatv.org/Veterans Voices.
Melissa, this was a lot of fun. Definitely an exciting opportunity, and we couldn't have done it without this fantastic crew here at CCTV. I want to thank JR. I want to thank Jeff. I want to thank Zach for being on the set. I want to thank John, also who was here earlier. This has been very fun, very, very exciting. Hopefully, after watching this, you'll come down and you'll be with us throughout the remainder of VetCon. And thanks again to this dynamic audience who asked comments or asked questions and made comments and really helped participate in the show. It was great interacting with all of you. A special thank you to the donators of VetCon, in no particular order: Department of Veterans Affairs, Wounded Warrior Project, PG&E, Blue Star Moms, Chapter 20 and 101, Delta Art and Tattoo, Zephyr Media, Brentwood Embroidery, AmVets Post 26, Supervisor Mary Pifo's office, and Contra Costa TV. A lot of support from the community for this event, and we want to thank you. Thank you for your generous contributions. This wouldn't have happened without you. Veterans Voices is made possible with contributions from the Diablo Valley Veterans Foundation and CalVet, and we want to thank them again. We want to thank our guests and our viewers at home. This has been a lot of fun, and Farrah over there has been working hard. Bruce has been working hard. They're running off of 20 minutes of sleep, so thank you. This is Veterans of Contra Costa County wishing you all a good afternoon. Come join us at VetCon. Thank you for serving.